Hey there, it's Chef AJ and welcome to the Ultimate Weight Loss Workshop. Now, if you're ready to lose unwanted pounds without starving, counting calories, portion control, or going insane, then you're in the right place. This is our third video and I have been blown away by all the positive feedback on the first two videos, so thank you. And if you've missed anything from the first two videos, just stop this video now, click on the links above and watch those first, and then come back here because, without that foundation, today's video may not be as powerful as it could be. In the first video, you learned about how to lose weight without ever feeling hungry using the principles of calorie density. And you learned by cutting down on the amount of fat in your diet and eating plenty of starch, such as, potatoes, rice, and beans, you could feel full and satisfied without having to worry about gaining weight. In the second video, you learned 5 strategies to keeping the weight off while loving the food. And those were simple swaps, learning new recipes, avoiding oil, prepping ahead of time, and using some tools to make food prep quick and easy. Now, with all that you've learned, what could be missing? Well, unfortunately, we live in a world that isn't exactly set up to support you in eating a way that will give you the slender body you desire. There's junk food, snacks, candy everywhere, at the cash register, at the gas station, the pet store, even at the hospital. And our willpower is limited, and your families, coworkers, and friends may be constantly tempting you with these foods that are really hard to resist. And on top of that, our biological instincts, well, you have the perfect storm to make you overeat. And this has nothing to do with your discipline or willpower. Biologically, we're not designed to say no to calories or no to social eating. So to overcome this, you absolutely have to organize your own support systems. And today, I want to give you the blueprint to setting up your own support system to be so rock solid that nothing and no one can pull you off track anymore. Now, if you get this right, you'll look back in a few years, and once you're in that healthy, vibrant body that seems so far away right now. I still consider myself a food addict, and for years I would have a Coke Slurpee for breakfast. I couldn't function without it. My favorite treat used to be Cinnabon, and I could never say no, but now I can walk by them at the airport even after a stressful event. And using what you're about to learn, I was able to stay on track since 2012 and not have a single slip up since. So where do you start to set up your support systems? Well, you start with your environment. Let's take a step back and look at it from a bird's eye view. You live somewhere. Well, that's your immediate environment. How difficult do you think it would be if you would have to face temptation every day in your own environment? Incredibly difficult, right? It would be hard to say no to temptation outside, but when you get home, you want to be able to relax. Your home is supposed to keep you safe and protect you, and that also applies to your health. So the first support system you need is a safe environment at home, and that means no temptations anywhere. Now, if you live with family members who may not be eating as healthfully as you are, you'll need to find an arrangement where you can live together but not eat the junk together. And there's plenty of options, and at the end of each arrangement, there'll be a unique situation. But I've never found one that wasn't possible as long as the family members respect each other and respect your decision to do the best you can for your health. And that is something that all family members should support. And speaking of support, the next support system you need is a personal support network. Research has shown that having a buddy or an accountability partner is more effective in helping addicts stop substance abuse than anti-addiction drugs. Now, think about that for a second, because having a buddy is free. It doesn't have side effects, well, except for making new friends, and it's more potent than anti-addiction medicine. So you definitely want a buddy or even maybe mentors to support you on your journey and hold you accountable. And thanks to the internet, you can find support wherever you are. Just make sure your buddies are on the same page and eating the same way that you are, or they could pull you off track. Now, when you start to lose weight, don't expect everyone to be thrilled for you. That's why this third strategy is so important, and that's about dealing with criticism. There's some people that will be very jealous and uncomfortable as you get more slender and healthy. They'll realize that being overweight is not set in stone and that they are responsible for their health just like you are responsible for your health. So when people start to question your new food choices, you need to know how to protect yourself. Psychologist Doug Lisle has a system for dealing with these naysayers. Dr. Lisle suggests deflecting their questioning with a shrug and saying, I don't know, this is just something my doctor has me doing. Seems to be working for me right now. You may be pressed further with a question such as, yeah, but don't we need fat to survive? And you can reply with another shrug. You may be right. My doctor's watching it though. He did some tests and it appears I'm getting all the nutrients I need for now. So we're running with it for now and see where it takes me. So what else could help you stay the course? In video 2, I shared with you why you want to avoid restaurants as much as possible, but sometimes you may want to eat out with friends or family. So knowing how to order your food is critical, and that's strategy number 4. Don't expect weight loss promoting foods to be found on the menu. Instead, you need to give specific instructions on what ingredients are okay for you to eat. Now, in the best case scenario, you do that before showing up at the restaurant. You could call in advance during non-peak hours and let them know that by doctor's orders, you're asked to follow a strict diet, and if they could please prepare something for you that fits that tonight. And then you give them specific instruction of what's allowed in your dish and what isn't allowed. Most quality restaurants will be happy to accommodate you. And while this isn't ideal, this way you can at least meet your friends and maintain your momentum. From having coached well over 1,000 clients in person, I know that most get off track when life does what life does and things aren't going according to plan. Well, that's kind of expected, isn't it? That's why strategy number 5 is to bring your food with you. When does life ever go perfectly according to plan? So you have 2 options when things happen. Do not eat and stay hungry until you have access to healthy food choices again. I know this may feel uncomfortable, but no one has died from skipping a single meal. Or bring a healthy snack with you wherever you go. Now, I assume you'd have guessed that I'm rather be prepared than hungry, so bringing a healthy snack with me is what I do. One day after a conference, my flight got canceled and I had to wait for the next flight and I couldn't reach home before midnight. Now, in the past, I might have gorged on airport food, but now I don't. I take out my Japanese sweet potato. I had it air fried and it literally tastes like cake. So I ate that. It's like a pound of sweet, satisfying goodness, 100% guilt-free. You see how easy that can be if you're prepared. All you need is a few travel-friendly snack options and then just pick whichever one you feel like. A bit of preparation can go a long way in preventing a disaster or relapse. That said, you can't prepare for everything, so the last support system I want to share with you is to strengthen your mind. There's so many ways to do that, like exercising. Mind you, we don't exercise to lose weight, but to strengthen our mind. Another great way is volunteering to build your self-esteem, or meditation or yoga to deal with stress, or taking on a hobby to find joy outside of food. For me, that's stand-up comedy and doing crafts. You see, I use all of these strategies, and the stronger your mind, the easier all of this gets. So there you have it, 6 support systems to counteract factors in your environment that are trying to pull you off track. A clean environment, a personal support network, diffusing criticism, knowing how to order food, bringing food with you, and strengthening your mind. Of course, there is so much more to learn in each of these areas, but in the end, anything that you can do to create support for your weight loss journey is an investment that is well worth it. Just imagine for a second that you're eating delicious foods that are satisfying and you're still losing weight, like you saw in video 1. And then imagine eating healthfully is effortless and fun using the 5 strategies from video 2. Imagine having all the swaps you need, new mouthwatering recipes, and because you have the tools to make it fast and easy, you can now eat how much you want, when you want, and never have to worry about yo-yoing again. And picture yourself having all the support systems in place to shield you from the negative influences that may try to pull you off track. Can you see this working for you? I hope that you can see that weight loss is not just a possibility. Achieving your natural body weight is the expected outcome when you implement the strategies that you've learned in this series. I really believe with all my heart that you can have both the health and the body that you so richly deserve. I've been through decades of suffering. I even attempted suicide in my 20s, and I've lost so many family members due to obesity. To end, let me share a very personal story. My brother was a brilliant man. He graduated at the top of his class in medical school. He was a doctor. He was an accomplished and very smart person. I shared with him what I shared with you, and he knew this was the way to better health. He knew the science behind these strategies and that it would work. But he told me that he just couldn't do it. Food addiction is a powerful opponent, and so are the forces that you learned about here today. Unless you are committed to taking action and implementing these strategies, you have little chance. My brother's life was cut short because of this, and he's no longer with us. At the same time, I have helped a lady in her 90s. Her name is Lily, and she has been a bundle of positivity and determination. She even finished writing a book and went on a book tour and retired happy and healthy after losing several of her children to lifestyle diseases. Now, which route will you take? Please leave a comment and let me know if you're on Team Lily. Let me know who's with me and who's committed to taking action. Now, if you were to take what you've learned so far and implement it, you'll feel your body and life change faster than you may even think is possible. But the problem is, how do you implement all these strategies step by step without feeling overwhelmed? How do you get it right the first time so you don't run the risk of giving up, or maybe the only plan that can help you? If those are the questions on your mind right now, then join me for the conclusion of this series. You see, I didn't do this alone. When Dr. Lyle told me to give it one more shot, to run an experiment and see how it goes, he didn't just leave me hanging. He helped me along the way. I can't tell you how important that was, and I want to do the same for you. You see, that experiment changed my life. The last 8 years have literally been the best years of my life, and I want you to be able to say the same thing 8 years from now. So join me in the next video when I'll share with you how you can get started and make this your own so that you can finally experience what it's like to lose the weight and keep it off for good. See you there, and right now I would love to hear from you, so please comment below how you'll feel when you're finally free from any weight concerns. What will it feel like to be in charge of your health? What goals will you pursue when weight is no longer an obstacle? Please scroll down and leave a comment for me. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.